Welcome to another episode of the Lee Stephenson Show. And today I have my esteemed guest, Mr. Isaac Keys. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Glad to be on the show.
Oh, good, good, man. We got so much to talk about. We'll talk about Texas because we know you're coming, and
Yeah.
yeah, and you're coming with a book. And can you bless us with the name of the book?
Sure. The book is called "The Grind Don't Stop. It Just Changes."
Wow,
Yep.
I like that.
Mhm.
So from the we call it from the gridiron to college football, acting, just all around American brother. So let's
Yeah. Well,
go
it
ahead.
starts with me. I'm sorry. It starts with me, but it really is about me. Collective stories of my life from adolescence to present day can be relatable to anyone who's just who's the kid trying to figure out who they were, self confidence, uh, parenthood, their upbringing, their raising, their neighborhoods, all the way up from a kid all the way through middle school, high school, college, and to present day. So it's
Okay,
a lot of
yeah,
different stories in there.
I like
Yeah.
that. And you're St. Louis, right? I
I'm born
mean,
and raised St.
born
Louis,
and
Missouri.
raised, yeah, yeah. See
Yeah.
the see the Cardinals in the background. Yeah,
That's a good old Arizona Cardinal. He was a St. Louis Cardinals
yeah,
years ago, then
yeah,
became the Arizona Cardinals. But
yeah. That's
I'm always repping St. Louis and seem like the Cardinals always follow me.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I remember when they was the St. Louis Cardinals. That's why I said the Cardinals. So yeah. You would be in Dallas Juneteenth weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Juneteenth weekend, Dallas, Fort Worth. I'll be in that area for multiple things. I'll be, like you said, for the weekend. It's a celebration of Juneteenth. But I'm fortunate enough to do a book signing, my first book signing to
Okay.
everyone like that, because it's been a long time coming to get this book project done. But my first book signing, I'm blessed to be able to do it in Fort Worth at
Okay.
the Doc Bookshop, and we'll be doing that on the 18th, June 18th. And you can check my bio, my LinkedIn. I'm sure you'll find it on here, uh, and find out exactly the time frames of that. But we'll be doing that. I think starting at 4 p.m. at the bookshop
Okay.
for that, and then and then it continues on, man. Book signing there. We got press on Friday. We joined the lovely Miss Opa Lee, and
Yes.
do her walk for celebrate Juneteenth during the day on Friday. Then Friday night we take it over, and Miss Opa Lee won't be a part of that, but that
Yeah.
Friday night. But we're gonna be outside. We're gonna be outside unless she want to, but we're gonna be outside a bit at the headquarters in Dallas.
Okay.
So yeah, we're keeping the party going, man. It's gonna be
I
exciting few days.
I love it. I love it, man. I love your spirit. I love what you're doing for not only Texas community but your own
Mhm.
community too. And I know you're doing. Is it a walk coming up?
Yeah, so with my chapter, the Omega Psi Phi
Yes.
fraternity, we will be doing celebrating Men's Health Awareness Month this month as well in
Yes.
June, and it's our ninth annual 5K run walk where we raise money to give back to organizations that have a lot of things to do activations where from men's health, men's whether it's men's mental health, whether it's men's fitness, where it's just helping men get back on track. We do a lot of that in the community, so we're excited about this. Our ninth annual one. I've had the pleasure to be over that committee for the last 2 years. It'll be my third year coming up.
Oh, nice.
time, time be flying. So yeah, that's in Los Angeles at Kennedy Park this Saturday, June 13th. I'm
Oh,
excited about that.
that's nice. So how you transform from an NFL football player to an actor now writing an author? How's life been like that for you?
The key word is life. I
Yeah.
mean, life has its way of the twists and turns. I sometimes compare it to a roller coaster, and sometimes with life, you just gotta throw your hands up like
Hmm.
a roller coaster and just let it go because all the twists and turns comes at you so fast. And I think, you know, I think that's probably a lot of the basis of the story is basically about dealing with the twists and turns, the pivot and transition, of life, of things you want
Hmm.
and they don't go your way. What do you do? Things that allow you bad choices, good choices. Whether it's relationships or whether it's job choices or just deciding what friends to hang around with,
I like
as
that.
you come up through these years. So I did a lot of that deep dive into my life and use those in this book. And as you talked about it, coming from football, I mean, it's a journey before football. And I think
Mm.
one thing that helped me figure out that I want to write this book is because of doing an interview like this or doing multiple interviews throughout my life, I'm not able to tell the whole story. I don't have enough time. People see the NFL, but they don't see everything that went into the NFL, how much how I made it to the NFL or how I almost didn't make it to the NFL or
Mm,
the work put in. And, so they don't see all that, but the book allows me to be able to give that testimony. And then the
wow.
transition from doing all that to getting to the NFL and then how that plays out and where we go next and what's the next part of life. When you put so much into one thing, how do you know what your next thing is going to be? So, it allows me to be able to cultivate a place for that in that book to be able to tell these stories, and I think people will gravitate and enjoy them.
That's good. And I just love the title of it, man. It's like it lets you know it's coming from your heart too.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That title came originally. I remember watching The Wire,
mm,
and the characters, he said, "The game don't stop; it just changes."
yeah.
And it just it correlated with me in my head. At the time I was coming up, I wasn't, I was playing, it was in high school, college, something like that, but it stayed with me. And throughout life, when people started to kind of look at it and be like, I have friends that, actually my publisher, he tell me, he said, "Hey man, you need to write a book." He told me that a few years before I was ready to. And I was like, he's like, "Man, your story, and then the way you word and the way you verse your story, it should be told to help others and to help you or whomever." But
Wow.
and that's kind of played a role in where that there was no doubt what this title was going to be of this book. It's always been in my brain, embedded in there. It's going to be the call the grind. Don't stop at this change. It's just so fitting, and that's why I think it feels so heartfelt.
Okay, I like that. So how do you differentiate Isaac Keys, the football player, Isaac Keys, the actor, now Isaac Keys, the author? Because I know once you home, you just want to relax.
Well, somebody said you're the triple A's, and I was like, wow, okay, athlete, actor, author now, and I was like, okay. I was like, it kind of blew me away for a second because I think life is about what you
Yeah.
do with it while you're here.
Yeah. I love
And
it.
I think that resonated with me truly. And one of the sole reasons why I got off my butt to start writing this book is when my
Mm,
father passed, and I talk about that in the book.
man,
And it just it made me realize, it put a big exclamation mark on that. You have to do what you can while you're here,
I
and
love it.
then what are people going to remember you by? What are people, how you affected their lives, how you impacted their lives, what you leave behind legacy wise, what have you accomplished? And so that's what really inspired me, to really make this happen and put that foot forward and put the actions behind it, and not just talk about it. With all those things, yes, especially with acting, because acting kind of gives you. I'm blessed to be on a hit show that has an amazing fan base
Yes.
and a following, that it puts me in the limelight, which I'm grateful for.
Yes.
But with that, you have to come with personal management, meaning that you have to be able to manage your mental states. You have to be able to manage all that you give out to people, but then be able to give out to the people when you get home. And they deserve some of that same energy,
Yeah.
that too. So I call it life management. Then it's like part of that. It's like I just have to be able to manage it. So some people ask me like, "Man, how you deal with all of this?" And I'm like, if I wouldn't go outside, or I would make other arrangements if that was the case. If I go to dinner and I didn't want to be, interrupted or something, then I would try to get a private room, or I'll just cook at home. It's like, but I
Yeah.
know what with it. And actually, I mean, I'm grateful. Those are the people that support you and help you live the lifestyle and the dreams that you want to, continue. I want to continue to live, and I owe them something as well too.
Yes, exactly. Now, how can they get your book? I think you said it's coming out tomorrow, the 11th, or I'm not sure.
So right now, it's always been on isaackeys.com. I house it on my
Okay.
website.
I
It was
love it.
pre-ordered before, but the books are all coming in now. So when you order it there, then we'll ship it out to you. Eventually, we'll be going live on Amazon. That'll be our next stop, our next phase. We're going live on Amazon. I believe we'll be doing that after June 20th. We'll go live on Amazon, and people can just order it themselves and get it. But meanwhile, right now, isaackeys.com, and that's where we'll start keeping up my upcoming events, anything that I have coming on, even merchandise and things of that nature too.
Okay.
Because I think the phrase "the grind don't stop at this change" is just an amazing phrase that can be uh, used with anyone. I think anybody can relate to it, can gravitate to it, because it's not just me; it's everyone. We're all in this grind. You just in your
Yeah.
unique one. So
I love it. And I'm glad that you blessed in Texas. This now,
yeah,
if I'm make sure I don't want to overstep. This is your first book. This will be your first book signing.
So Fort Worth,
Yes.
Dallas Fort Worth would be my
Yes.
first book signing. And yeah, man, the trash is building. So now Houston will be right after that. I'll be leaving straight from Dallas Fort Worth and heading to Houston. We have a book signing on the 20th at Winsome Steakhouse or
Oh yeah.
Winsome Chop House, where you care, but it's
Yeah.
a lovely restaurant. They've been, gracious enough to open their doors for me
Hmm.
to be able to invite whomever to come in, and we're gonna have a good crowd, man. And
I
what I
love it.
like is I like engagement. I'm the
Yes.
type of
Yes.
person. My personality is that, and we walk out together. It's like I want to engage with people. I don't want to be very standoffish in any kind of way. So we have what we do, even with the book signing. We have a VIP time that's an hour before we actually start letting in general. So a
Hmm.
VIP allows us to be able to, allows me to be able to really engage with, with people who support me, who are
Man.
interested in my book, interested in what I have to say, and
Yeah.
we'll be able to have that type of one-on-one time for per se in that VIP hour, and then after that we'll go into like a mixer type of thing. I didn't want it to be just very formal. I wanted people to be able to come together, have conversation with one another, get to know new people, network, and then within
Yes.
that we'll create a conversation. And I have great with two hosts. I have the Lady Jade from straight out of Dallas.
Yes.
She'll be hosting and moderating our conversation at
Hmm.
the Doc Bookshop, and then I have in Houston. I had
Hmm.
the voice of Houston, Kiati. Kiati will be
Yes.
doing that moderating in Houston. So they
Okay.
have an amazing following, and I've been blessed enough to have them come on and have this conversation with me in these two locations, and we're gonna continue it on to all the prospective cities. So just keep tuning in because I gotta go home,
Yeah.
St. Louis. I gotta do Chicago. I gotta do everywhere, man. Anybody
Yeah.
that wants me,
Yeah.
I'm there. But I got my cities I have to do for sure.
Yeah. And as I said, I know when you do your, we ain't gonna say your last one, but your one for this season, make sure,
Uh-huh.
I know St. Louis gonna stand up for you, man.
Yeah, my
I
city.
know that, and we're blessed to have you here, because Dallas love you. We love the show. I don't know if you can talk about any of the projects you got coming on, but we love seeing you on those episodes. I mean, we couldn't wait. Every weekend
Yeah,
it's like got to turn it on, got to tune in, because
I
it was
think that's
just, it
one of
was
the main
deep,
reasons.
man.
Yeah, I think one of the main reasons coming down to Fort Worth, I had opportunity to work with the Fort Worth Police Department,
Okay.
working with Officer Tracy Carter, and
Yeah, that's my
he reached
dude.
funny because he reached out to me on my DM on Instagram. I'm like, why are the police reaching out to me? They got some kind of little, they try, so it made me start checking, make sure I had no warrants. I'm like, I
Yeah.
ain't been to Fort Worth, but he's a fan of the show, but he
Yeah.
also was a big pillar in the community and
Very
trying to
big.
build a relationship between the community and the police force.
Yeah.
And really, this started with the Fort Worth because of him, and because of him being his, having being a fan of the show, but seeing something where he wanted me to come down to out to Fort Worth, and we did a whole panel discussion one of the police stations, and it was an amazing turnout. I didn't realize I had that much love in Dallas Fort Worth.
Oh
I
man.
did not realize that until being out there and seeing this part, then going to the community and doing some community relation talks,
Hmm.
talking to the guys from different programs, the VIP program, the violence intervention program, uh,
Yeah.
being a part of that, talking to these, boots on the ground,
Yeah.
right in the neighborhoods, talking. And it's like, that's the type of thing I like. So I
Yeah.
enjoy that. We did a ride along, and that was a major hit, like on
Yeah.
social media, doing
Yeah,
a
we
ride
saw
along.
that.
I was, I didn't know. I thought I was going to get out and jump out and help somebody or something. I was like, am I qualified for this or not? I'm not used to being on this side.
Yeah. Real life. Yeah.
Right.
That was,
But
yeah.
those experiences have allowed me to see what it's like to be a glimpse of being an officer.
Yes.
They put me in a simulator. I did the simulator one time, and I got shot up. I got shot up
Woo.
by a pimp that was holding on to a dope fiend. And
Oh wow.
and that's just what I'm saying, because I didn't know the protocol, but the decision making that you have to make in just a split second,
Hmm.
and the knowledge you have to have, is commendable, and that's why the training is so important to be in that position as an officer. And Fort Worth
Yes.
has done an amazing job, I believe, with their training facility, because I experienced it firsthand.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think that's what's important. But what's even more important is just, I think there's a to mesh a understanding. A lot of
Hmm.
times our conflict of frustration or conflict with anyone is because of lack of understanding. And if
Correct.
I think if we can provide more understanding of what a police officer goes to and what we can do as a civilian to be able to kind of like keep things a little bit more out
Hmm.
of being tense, I think it can help. Not in all situations, because like anything, there's bad apples in any position. and it's bad
Wow.
people in any position. So it's not always gonna work. But I think any little bit we can do is understand that. And that's what I got working with the Fort Worth Police Department. And also the reason why I'm coming out there, man. Seeing all that
Yeah.
love in Fort Worth, being out there in Dallas,
Yeah. Yeah. We
I was like,
love you,
hey,
brother.
and the doc bookshop said, let's do it here. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Texas is a state of love, And let's talk about, and then we're
And
gonna
they
bring
show it
back.
with food too. That's what
Oh
they show. They
man.
show it with food. They
Ooh,
feed me.
the
They feed me out
food.
everywhere I went.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you gonna eat good. I promise you
Yes,
that.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's crazy. I can't remember the restaurant that we was ate at that day, but yeah, we got to visit that one again when you back
Yeah,
in town.
definitely.
Yeah, and so let's dive in on legacy and leadership, um, because I know that's important to you because I've read something that I think when your dad was in the hospital, that I think that was your last time seeing him, and I'm gonna let you tell him what did he tell you?
Well, through our conversation, he was in and out, and
Hmm.
it's like he would always kind of come a little more awoke when he hear my voice. And it was a point where he kind of hit his little side smile. We kind of shared this little kind of crooked smile at times when we don't smile fully,
Yeah.
and he just stopped and he kind of said, it's time for you to take care of the family. And it was a moment where I know my father was always not. He was never. He was always kind of fearful of death, where
Hmm.
it kind of took him. But at
Yeah.
that point, I felt like that he had a strength about himself to be able to say it to me, and I assured him that it's okay and
Yeah.
everything is gonna be all right. And I got him. I got the family, and it takes you know a man or a person. It's a lot of strength for you to be able to take on that responsibility. Sometimes we're gonna give it to us when we want it.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's just handed to you because of what the life again.
Yeah.
But by him saying that, it's put lit another fire underneath me for my life to be able to make sure that I provide for my family and to make sure that I continue to do so and continue to build them up to put them in better positions that I possibly can as they still love on me and build me up as well too. And I think that's just very important when it comes to, like you said, legacy. Um, and I think that they say take a village, it really does. But it just takes,
Hmm.
I'm a strong believer in family and
Yeah.
friendship.
I love it, man. And I said we're gonna be excited to have you here for our Texas Juneteenth and the community. As you
Yeah,
know, Texas was I think the last state that figured out that was told that we was free.
Juneteenth, Galveston,
Yeah,
Texas. They pulled up on
yeah.
the beach and said, "Hey, y'all know y'all free, right?"
They like what?
Hey, huh? What? And it took 2 years. Took 2 years, I think it was, before they found out. They
Yeah,
pulled up and y'all free, right? Huh?
yeah. It's
Imagine
a
that, man.
yeah, it's
So
a
especially in this time,
yeah.
we have to continue to celebrate the history and continue to teach the history of
It's
what
important, man.
America has done and continue to do. And yeah, so we don't try to repeat the same things that were, not good for our country.
Yeah. And what do you want your fans and just to get out of this book? I
It's
mean,
so many things I
yeah.
want them to get out. And I mean, it's a journey, like life. It's a
Hmm.
journey. And I take you along a journey speaking in my own words. See, I wanted to make sure it sounded like me talking.
There you
I
go.
didn't want it to be like you're just reading this book and it could be anybody. When you read it, it may be some slang in there. It may be some, run on sentences and just how I talk. And
Hmm.
I wanted to be more of a conversational piece of me just sharing stories. But then also as I'm sharing it, having revelations like, damn. So that's why I did that,
I love
or
that.
maybe this would happen. Like, and that's how I write. How that's how the book is written. It's 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 like telling a story, telling an experience, and then like, okay, this is what I did that, or I'm me trying to understand it as well.
Yeah,
Because that's how we talk. That's how we are as people. Like,
I love
we
it.
try to figure it out. We never had experience, but damn, why did that happen?
Yep,
And
that's true.
and we talk about it. And sure, you may see some LOLs in there. You can definitely see some cuss words in there because
Yeah.
it's real. And I think what I want people to do, that's the first thing, is like to see how vulnerable I allow myself to be, how candid I allow myself to be, but just go along on the ride.
Okay, I love that.
Gravitate to what fits you, gravitate to what resonates with you. And some of it just look at it as like it's a TV series or a movie, like, wow, I ain't never did that, but that's crazy.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
that's good, or that's sad, whatever it may. Allow yourself to be inflicted by the journey and
mm.
whatever it may be for you.
Man, you just hit a word I was going to ask you. So with this book, and you can answer if you want to. do you see it as a documentary, a movie, a sitcom?
I
Because
think it could be. I mean, it's because there's so many different stages of the life. Like I said, for adolescent all the present day, I think there's parts that we could pick out and do, a series or a movie about, um, because that's what a grind is. A grind is a multitude of things. We put the definition on it. Grind is grinding something down, polishing it to fit or sharpen into a situation or into later on. And into my cases, different situations in life. This one thing happened here, but if that didn't happen, then this wouldn't happen, whether it's
mm,
good or bad, but just the correlation between the two or the preparation of, certain things. I remember getting uh going on I was in high school and I was going on a job interview with Burger King, and I was late to the interview. And as soon as I sat down, the manager said, "Hey, well, hello, and thank you for coming out." And basically just kind of got up more of the way. And I realized I had to say too much. I was late. And my father always tried to instill in me not to be late. But once I showed them I was late, that's basically showing I'm gonna be late for my shift. But things like that gravitate to you now. So now I'm still talking about that 30 some years later,
mm,
about that one experience that has affected me throughout my life on certain things of why I can be a stickler sometime for time, or understanding that, time is valuable. And when you say you're going to do something, do it. And a
I
lot of
love
that is
that.
still from my parents and from my father and, and life.
Yes.
So, I look at it as that, I mean, that's we're just continuing to learn, man. And it's, I just, yeah.
Wow, this is. I mean, I love it, man. I love the fact that you, as you said, after you lost your dad, he said. I mean, was it something in your head to say, I got to write this book? I mean, what was the pivot point that you think at that moment?
It was already floating around. It was
Okay.
floating around that I need to do this book, or I have a story to tell. And
Mm,
I'm not arrogant enough to be like, oh, my story is better than somebody else's, or it's top tier. No, no, it's just my story. And that's what makes it unique. And I'm telling it because I feel like we learn from stories. That's how we learn. It's like people writing in history books. We learn from it. We learn from people's experiences. And I felt as though that some people are like, man, you live many lives. And I'm like, when you live in it, you don't realize that
true.
because you're in it. But when you stop, and I stopped one day and I took a look at like where I've come from, how I came from, what I've been, things I've been through in my own life. And I touch on it because most stories start off with I got out the mud. I was raised. I said somebody raised in a trap house or a drug house
Mm,
and they had one parent. No, I had both of my parents in my life. I live a middle class type of lifestyle, life because. But how did we get that? So now we got to touch into how my parents got there. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Where they came from. And still what they instilled in me from what they came from, and why they didn't want to say anything to me. Why I fight every day to make sure that I'm not living check to check, because I have been. Or
Yeah.
because I don't want to lose what I have, which I have lost.
Yeah.
Like that. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
those are the stories, because right now if you read the headlines, oh, NFL player Isaac Keys from hit show Power Before Force, like that. But no, we're not talking about, how I played 3 years of football growing up and get not playing out of position, not getting a scholarship, walking on to two different schools because I just
Mm,
wanted to play football, not having that scholarship, or getting the NFL. Like I got picked up a month later, not at the draft. I got not as a free agent a month later. It's
yeah.
those
That's deep.
stories and the process of those things is what is so important for me to tell in this story, and that's why I get excited about it, because now it's like you can see a whole heart. You don't just see the headlines and the titles. Now you can see the work behind it. And I think at this day and age right now, we lack a little bit of work ethic in some way, especially our younger generation, not
Yes.
knowing what you have to put in to accomplish something. And in the same way, when I was coming up, my parents
Mm-hmm.
worked harder than I did at one
Yes.
point.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
you're right, and you're deep, man. It's like, I mean, you sound like a motivational speaker, man. You got me motivated too, and I love it. But it's true. I mean, that's why I love the title, "The Grind Don't Stop," because it
Yeah.
is. I haven't got mine, but trust me, I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna read it throughout, man. But yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
and it's just again from acting, from what you're doing, from your community service. It's not many, but a lot of us. I'm not saying it's men, in period, but you're giving back, and that's priceless. That's something
Yeah.
nobody can say that you don't do. You're a
That's
giver. You receive it, but you give back, and that's important.
Yeah, my mom used to always say, "Boy, you just so damn naive. You just want to just give give to your free. You let them wear your. I mean, let them play with your toys. You just give it to them. You're just so naive, and and
Mm,
but it's a part of that giving that gives me gratitude and gratification
uh-huh.
of being able to give. I felt like sometimes it felt like that I went through stuff so I could share with my friends so they wouldn't go through it, or for
Yes.
somebody else to go through it, not to go through it. And I used to feel like that person that I was always watched over. I felt like the grace of the God always watched over me and kept me out of real trouble when I was in some
Mm-hmm.
bad situations.
Yes.
I still feel this day that He's always watched over me, so I give grace to that. But I don't know. I think, and this is probably I just feel like because I got the book, like I say, so I got the book. Some people didn't say the cover yet.
Yes. I love that image, man.
This is the proof of it, a hard copy, and
Yeah.
that image came about is because I wanted something that was real. I
True.
didn't want to be just sitting down. I wanted something real, and we took like a headshot, just a very natural headshot of
Mm-hmm.
myself, and we scrambled because I always knew it's like, well, I want to show the different journey parts of my life, and the only way I
Mm.
can encapsulate that is by showing different pictures of my life
Yes.
of childhood, and you will see on the cover when you look at it. I wanted people to see the cover,
Yeah.
look at it, and then be like, hold on, what's that? And look deeper into the pictures,
Yes.
to pull them in and and that's what the story we talk about in it. So it's like now I had opportunity, man, and I had a chance to as I was going through it, I was looking at it like, wow. I,
Yeah.
you know, I'm an author now. Like I wrote a book. Like,
Yes. It's
I
it's a
think you can
it's
say
it's
that,
a
man. And I'm
feeling,
not a person.
man.
I'm not a bookworm. I'm not one person that sits down and read every
Mm.
day. When I was little, my mom be like, I'll be like, I'm bored. She'd be like, go outside, go read a book, and I'll be
Yeah.
like, no. So
Anything but the book, yes.
yeah, but this is a big feat
Man.
for me, man, and I'm
Mm.
excited about it. Like I'm excited about how it came together, man, and the
Man,
process was something
that's
too. So
that's a
work, man.
blessing, man. In your hometown, we know St. Louis. We know they are known for the barbecue. But
Yeah,
if you come to Texas, we're gonna make sure you get plenty of that.
I appreciate it. I
Not
don't
to,
discriminate on the barbecue. As long as as long as it's good, I don't discriminate on barbecue, no matter where it's from.
yeah, that's good, man. So what would you say your greatest accomplishment, and what do you think your greatest accomplishment will be? I mean, we'll say present now. What do you think you accomplished that you're satisfied? But as you say, the grind don't stop. So I know you got more coming.
The book, I think the
Yeah,
book because it's the thing I can control.
I love it.
When I go to act in it, I have to audition for it, and I have to have many people have to say yes in order for me to get that role. When I played football, I needed a lot of people to say yes in order for me to get that role and a performance at that point for me to be able to have that job. Growing up, even with friends and everything needed validation or affirmation or
Mm,
some type of yes. With this book, it's me. I don't care if two people purchase the book. I don't care if a million because it's not about the rest of the book sales. It became therapy for me.
mm.
And whether it catches on, people like, well, wow, man, that's an amazing book. So be it. But I accomplished this. I wrote this,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
did it. And I ain't need nobody to say yes to it in this situation. You know what I mean?
man,
Like
yeah.
that's gonna still go up on my bookcase as a book, and it's showing that the years down the line, when I'm old and gray, if I make it that far, they can always say Papa or Isaac Keys wrote a book, and it was called "The
Mm,
Grind Don't Stop; It Just Changes," and that was part of his story of his life
yes.
up to the present day at that time.
Man, I love what you just said. Therapy for you. We as
Yeah,
black people, sometimes we don't understand therapy, but
yeah,
you hit it. It was therapy for you, because we all go through certain things, but we're afraid to have our own therapy. We'll knock aside therapy. I don't need therapy. I was raised, and I'm
um,
pretty sure you like too. It's like ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Get yourself together. That was that era. Now it's like, wait a minute, I do need therapy, and a lot of us are afraid to talk about therapy. So how was that for you when you realized writing this book helped you for whatever reason?
yeah. It was another form of therapy because I like to say I've been worked on. I'm a worked on Gemini. They try to give us Gemini's a bad rap, but it's June. Ain't nobody gonna be able to give me no bad rap during my month. So,
Yeah.
um, I worked on Gemini because I experienced that. I didn't know I needed therapy until I know, honestly, until it really became readily available to me. And I just realized
Mm.
that all the things that I had been through life, I was carrying. I was still carrying a lot of bitterness, angerness from football. I was carrying some things of not knowing and being upset at God because him not he giving me things what I felt is halfway and not giving to me, giving it all, the whole way, no matter how much work I've been in,
Yeah.
praying for direction. And eventually, I started seeing a therapist, and I experienced therapy, and it was like because I growing up, I used to nip it. What do you want to be? You grow up. I want to be a psychologist. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like I used to want to be a
Oh
psychologist or a
wow.
psychiatrist, private medicine. But then I
Okay.
started having my own problems. I was like, yeah, I ain't finna help nobody else right now with that. I got my own problems. I gotta try to handle.
That's
But
funny.
so after having therapy, so I had an understanding of it. And once you ever understand the therapy or you've been in therapy, then
Mm-hmm.
you start your filter changes. You recognize that people have traumas or issues or challenges because of how they react or how they act out.
Mm.
Whether they have some drinks or whether they just don't handle their issues or challenges wrong. So you recognize those things. So now you got to have to filter what you allow into your life and what you don't allow in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then have an understanding that everybody has a journey. I may not be able to help you along your journey. I can give you information. But once you get that information, what you do with it is on you.
Yeah.
Having that understanding. So writing this book helped even more because I had to dig into reliving and thinking of childhood stories or
Mm-hmm.
childhood experiences or your first time you getting a whooping, how that made you really feel about your parents.
Yeah.
Besides it stinging, but where was that hurt from of having somebody that loves you physically beat you with a
Mm.
thing to provide discipline because that's how much they love you.
Yeah.
Correlating the two, a physical act with love can develop some type of trauma as well too
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. And where did that come from? That came from their upbringing. You know what I mean? Why are
Exactly.
they gonna whoop you if at the same time because they feel like that's what's the best thing to do, and
Yeah.
that's all we've been doing. It's a circle, a life of us just trying to be better than what our parents were into next. But how are we doing it? And is that
Yes.
formula correct or is it not?
Mm.
So I think the book just allowed me to relive a lot of stories and again think about okay how to and like I said how I became who I am today
Mm.
through what experiences and who I want to be and who I don't want to be.
Man, I love that. And like you, I mean, I took therapy after my dad had passed. It was like, it's one of them things that I didn't want to because I'm thinking
Right.
I'm good. Then sleepless night, then you just start reliving, as you said, start reliving that childhood. Like, man, say my siblings get whooping. Like, did they deserve it or was it they mad at them? But they good now. It's just at that time.
Yeah.
You're right. We don't understand the discipline to make us better, to grow. I mean, even with my own children, it's uh it's a factor. Therapy is real and it's needed. And I think just to I'm not a psychologist or nothing like that, but I just think we all have to sit down and talk to somebody. You
You
know.
have to because your person, whether it's your significant other, your kids, you can't bear that whole weight on them because sometimes you got to vent about them. And you can't put that all on them. And it doesn't mean you love them any less. You
Mm-hmm.
just got to go to somebody else so you can go home and you can love on them even more and still be there present in that situation. And when you
Mm-hmm.
think about the therapy situation, I feel like we all been through so much. And a lot of times, especially, we talk about it as Black men, especially being Men's Health Awareness Month,
Mm-hmm.
is that we have to put on this armor. We got to put on this face. We got to put on this facade to go out in this world to be able to protect because a man can't hurt. He doesn't get the same, leeway
Yeah.
as a woman may get in certain situations because
Exactly.
she's a woman. We're taught to protect our women, but
Yeah.
who's taught to protect the men?
Man.
Nobody's really taught that for sure. So it's like we got to put this armor on. We got to put on. But that's why I strongly believe in checking on my friends or we have group text messages. Hey, is everybody good?
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? Opening the floor now for us to be able to talk to one another, for us to be able to have the conversations with one another, and then have your therapist too, because that's the person that doesn't know you from all things, that can't pass judgment on you, and then they're just an arbitrary figure that can listen and then provide information from what you just told them, not off of a past experience. Well, you used to do that all the time. What your
Mm-hmm.
friend might say, well, I remember that you was like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm different now. Like,
Yeah.
I've been through different things in life. So
Yeah.
you may know that old version of me, but you don't know this new version that I'm trying to be or I
Yes.
am.
Yeah.
So it's better to have a therapist. You just want a support group, but it's better to have a therapist. And I strongly believe in therapy. You got to
Man.
work on yourself, man.
That's
That's the only way you're
that's
going to be able to help others, work on yourself first.
you right. And add me to that group, man, because it's one of them things on the real that exactly what you said. A lot of us, they'll talk about what we used to do instead of what we're trying to do, what who we are now.
Right.
And I've had friends like, man, I remember. I said, hey, man, you know how long that been? I don't.
Right.
I remember, but I ain't trying to remember. I'm just trying to
You
move
ain't moving
forward
like that no
on
more.
the positive side.
Right. For
Yeah,
sure.
that is good, man. I just love your spirit. It's genuine. And this because I've met you, so it's not like okay, you're acting because this is you. Did you ever get any people like friends that you grew up when we started acting like you're the same, but we love your character because we know it's not you.
Yeah, it's a
How
little
does
bit.
that work?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. Some people like, man, I didn't even see you. Like that's a mix. I didn't even see Isaac when I was watching Diamond. Or
Hmm.
when I watched you in his character, I
Yeah,
didn't see Isaac. Like then I'm like, well, that's good. That means because I'm not. That wasn't Isaac. I'm
yeah,
portraying a character. Now am I
yeah,
substituting some things from my life and experiences or other people's life experiences? Yes, in order for
yeah,
me to portray the truth of this character. And some people, it's across the board. But I mean, that's one of the biggest compliments I get is, like, man, I love what you did with that character. Or I love your acting because that's
yeah,
what we work so hard to be able to do, and that's the gratification that you look for when you put out a body of work or you put
yes,
out something. You do want that gratification, to
yeah.
feel that way, and for me, it's fuel for me to keep going. It's
Hmm.
fuel for me to be like, okay, I'm doing something right. Let me just continue to grow with that and keep pushing on it. Because I come from a space of sports that will carry with me for the remainder of my life.
Hmm.
I'm used to being coached. I'm used to critique. I'm used to, and I know how to receive those things. I want to know when I'm doing good. I want to know when I'm doing bad from certain people. But
Yeah.
but I want to know those things because that's how I grow and learn and
Yeah.
become better at whatever I'm doing. I'm looking for that. So, the acting part of man is it's been amazing because again, that was also part of my therapy. Getting acting class was my first introduction to therapy. To go back to your question before that, I think
Oh
about it
wow,
because
that's
it
interesting.
was the first time that I took a class where I had to be vulnerable or I had to let go of that
Mm.
manly, masculine image and facade that you had to put on, even though it's part of you, but it
Mhm.
strips you of that and allows you to be vulnerable because it's a safe place in that class. So all that anger and bitterness and just being ashamed from leaving the
Mhm.
NFL and not on my terms and not in my way,
Mhm.
acting class helped me get rid of it because it was a safe place where I had to use those emotions into these characters. I had to learn to be vulnerable. I mean, I say this a lot in some classes to make it relatable. Like one of the lessons is like, okay, we want you all to, you be in a circle. Like, okay,
Mm.
you're going to be a giraffe. You're going to be a chicken. You're going to be a rooster. You're
Yeah.
going to be a cow.
Mm.
Go. And I remember looking around the room. These people that've been at class before, they go right into it.
Yeah.
Moo,
Yeah.
everything like that. I'm looking like, y'all crazy as hell. And then, I'm being a giraffe. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm being a whole giraffe in this room, and no, there's no judgment. There's no
Wow.
nothing. And it's like, where can you
Mm.
do that in society? Where can you
Yeah.
do that in your friend circles without them thinking you crazy as
Yeah.
hell?
Well, that's why I call you crazy.
You know what I mean? And that freed
Mm.
me up of letting go of a lot of inhibitions and things. And that's what allowed me to be able to be a little bit more free, a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more candid than I was before because I wasn't trying to hide things in a sense. I was like, I knew when I went to LA, I was broke and I didn't care.
Yeah.
Before I was afraid of that. Like, nah, I ain't got it, bro. And it,
Yeah.
it felt so good to be so honest. I
Mhm.
ain't got it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
sit this one out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Until I do get it out. So that was
Exactly.
my first, introduction to therapy was acting class. And I again
Mhm.
like therapy. I I applaud anyone and actually encourage them to take an acting class, no matter if you're gonna be an actor or not.
Mm.
Take an acting class. Learn something more about yourself. Put yourself in situations that you're not comfortable with. And watch how fast you grow and what you get from it.
Man, that's knowledge right there. That's amazing, brother. Because I'm like, wow. Because I'm
You,
listening to you, and I'm
you got
thinking,
it
like,
flowing right
man.
now. You got it flowing. It's getting out right now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like, man, I love that, man. Again, we definitely want to give a shout out to our Texas own Dallas own Lady Jade. She born and raised, and
Yep.
yeah, can't wait to see her again as well. Can't wait to see
Can't
you
wait.
again, my brother. And
Man, I appreciate it. You know, I'm really excited about this, man. It's been a long time coming. And again, Dallas Fort Worth has showed me so much love already that I just want to, bring love back to them even more. And we just gonna have share it all together, man, and have just a good time that whole
mm-hmm.
weekend from the book signing on the 18th at Doc Bookshop to the walk with Miss Oprah Lee
Yes.
celebrating Juneteenth celebration to the party afterwards with Money
Mm-hmm.
Bag Yo and
Yes.
so and other special guests, and then yeah, man, we're gonna bring it all home. So it's gonna feel good out there, and then going straight to Houston and gonna do the same thing, man, out there
Yeah.
in Houston. So don't they
Yeah.
won't feel missed out.
It's gonna be a
Texas,
good Texas busy weekend, but it's
yeah, it
gonna be
is.
good. You're gonna have plenty of food. You may even have something to take home. Give it some takeout bags.
Definitely gonna need to
Yeah,
take out back.
like they say, Texas is everything, man. So
Yeah,
overall, man, I know it's hard to say. If you was to rate your own book, I mean, is it nonfiction, fiction, family drama? How would
no,
you rate it?
it's nonfiction. It's like a memoir almost.
Okay, I
I
love
like to
that.
call it memoir. It's a nonfiction. It's a list of stories from my lens, from my eyes, and I rated shit, man. I have no problem. No harm for me. I feel like it's a 10 out of 10,
I
5 star.
like that,
That's just
man.
how I feel. You know what I mean? For me, and I'm not arrogant. I'm not even. I've
Hmm.
always built it with confidence and self confidence at times too. But
Yeah.
putting this together, man, it just felt. I'm just so proud of it, man. I'm just proud of it. Like I
Hmm.
said again, I didn't need any yeses for this. It's I
Yeah.
can control it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this. I was saving it, but I'm gonna say it. When I first met you, I'm gonna show you how humility and what kind of brother you are. You got up and walked over to me and introduced yourself to me, and
Yeah,
nothing but love ever since. I said, because you didn't have to do that, but you did
yeah,
that, man. That
yeah,
shows your character and how you was raised and stuff like that. So I was like, man,
sure.
cool brother,
Yeah.
man. We've been good ever since. So yeah,
And I appreciate that, man.
yeah.
When you told me about your platform, I was like, man, whatever I can do to support, because you
Hmm.
very gracious enough to say you want to support me, and I
Yeah,
think that's what it's all about, man. We go a lot further together than we can,
exactly,
by ourselves. So, and
exactly.
I'm here as well, and I think that you said that character, but it's something about especially seeing another black man, and be like, hey, man, how you doing?
Yeah,
I'm Isaac, me, like that, because I mean, it's just we need more of that because
yes,
before there used to be tension, and there's
yeah.
no reason to be tension between us for no reason. That's just how we were up with our upbringing. Was like I don't know him.
Yeah,
Right there.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
and I think that's maturity as well, on my part, but also this the kind of energy I want to be. I try to give the type of energy that I want to receive.
Yeah, well, I love that, man. Yeah, you was raised well, man, because a lot of people don't believe in good energy, the
Yeah.
vibes and stuff, because you have to have that to grow.
When you get older, man, you be like,
Yeah,
look, all I want to be around is good people, good
yeah,
vibes,
no
good
drama.
energy. Hey, I don't want drama all that. I don't want all that mess. I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah,
all that. You know what I mean? So, as we get older, that we start to realize that, and I just try to share that, as well, even with the young ones. Because
yeah.
yeah,
Now,
you don't have to have all that in your life, man. You can control some of the things that's in your life.
so the ones who can't make the book signing, the books will
Sure.
still be in docs.
Yeah, yeah. So some books will still be at Docs. They'll be able to have some there. Then they can always, go onto the website and then Amazon get it shipped right to their door. But
Okay,
yeah, Docs been gracious enough to be able to let us be
okay,
there and be able to have the books filtered through their shop, man. Because I don't want anybody to miss out on an opportunity to
yeah,
get the book, purchase the book, just just be in honestly just be in that room, be in
okay.
that room, enjoy the room, not only for me but everybody else that's in the room. You know what I mean? I'm excited about that.
Yeah, bring your books, man. Texas big. Now, do they have to register? I mean, if they do, how do they register?
So everything is on a Eventbrite link. So you can
Okay.
probably I will show you have it on your page, but if you
Yes.
go to my Instagram page in my bio, there's a link. You click on that link, you can see all the different things, events I have coming up. You can click on it. You can purchase your general admission ticket or you purchase your VIP ticket, whichever one suits you.
Yes.
And with that general admission ticket or the VIP ticket, a book comes along with that. That's
Yeah.
part of what you're purchasing for. It's not just you be in the room, you pay that money. You're
Yeah.
also receiving something from that as well too, and that will be the book. And we also had opportunity, of course, in the book signing for me to sign it for you, take a picture together. We just gonna, enjoy and interact with one another.
Exactly. Now, what's your social? How do your fans follow you?
It's very simple. Everything's Isaac Keys. So you type in Isaac Keys, your Instagram is Isaac Keys, Facebook, Twitter, Isaac Keys. I think TikTok is the official Isaac Keys on there because somebody stole my Isaac Keys from on TikTok already. No, I was late. I was late on TikTok. You know what I mean? I
Okay,
was like, no more social platforms, but it's been a
yeah,
good a good avenue. So, but yeah,
yeah,
I'm not hard to find, and I try to keep my link and my bios everywhere so you'll be able to just keep up what's going on. And I
okay,
just really want to give a big shout out to the fans and just
yes,
everybody who support me and my journey and support all my my ventures and experiences and just even just sitting here listening to me. So
okay,
big
yeah.
shout,
And
you
what
know.
and what kind of merch are you bringing? Cause we can get it.
Yeah, so we'll have some journals. We have a grind don't stop journal. It's
Okay,
a hard copy journal that allows you to be able to write in and encourage you to write what you're feeling and using it as a journal. We'll have that. We'll have some t-shirts as well. Grind don't stop. It just changes t-shirt and the back has a definition of grind. So I'm excited about that because like I said, I believe that title resonates with everybody.
mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about that. Big shout out to Steph Michelle. Make sure y'all follow
Yes,
her.
yes,
Steph Michelle
got
helped me
to.
put this all together and
Mm-hmm.
she's been an amazing, amazing, amazing help to me. Would not happen without her. So I'm excited about that with her, working with her, and all the events that she's doing and upcoming events. So big shout out to her.
Yeah, man. And again, we thank you for taking our time for one to be able to do this interview because we know you're busy, man. And I appreciate you for saying, "Hey, I'm available on this date. Let's make it happen." I said,
Yes,
"Let's make
sir.
it happen, man." And we
Yep.
can't wait till June the 18th. You Do
Yes, sir.
yeah, we're gonna again, everybody go to his. It's on your website too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Website, you can go to isaackeys.com, the website where you can still find the book at.
yeah.
And upcoming events will start being placed on there. My Instagram is always going to have what I'm doing and things too. Hopefully, it's entertaining to you as it is to me. TikTok the same way, but Instagram is probably the greatest avenue to be able to keep up with things that's going and also the link that's in the bio.
Love it. And one more thing, if it's one thing that, because you have a lot of fans, whether you know it or not, one thing you one thing you want to tell your fans, just say it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because we here in Texas, and I hear it all the time when you was on the show and everything. They said, "Man," and now that Diamond's coming to Texas, I
All right.
say, "Yeah, he's coming, man." Miss Isaac
Yeah.
Keys himself, and so Texas is going to show you love as you know that by now already.
Sure.
We are a loving state, and I mean, again, I'm honored to call you a friend. I'm honored to be there to support you as well. I think you met one of my co-hosts, Angie, and you'll meet the other one, Linda, too. So yeah,
Okay.
we just in
Yeah.
happy to support you, man, in any kind of way. And yeah, we made.
Love, man.
I'm gonna make sure I get plenty of merch. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure I buy. Whether you selling bundles, whatever. Here's my card. Here's my cash, man. Let's make this happen.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's
So,
love. I
Mr.
appreciate it.
Isaac Keys, we at the Marcus Lee Stevenson Show is grateful to have your presence, and it's going to be an honor. Just again, June 18th, Opa Lee, and she's very loved. So to have you two together, man, it's priceless. That's a blessing. I mean, it's just a blessing that we don't get all the time. Um, so yeah, anything you like to add, my brother?
Um, I like you said, Texas is a big state, with a lot of love, and I want us to build on that, and I want us to just, have a good time, and let's continue to support one another, you and I, and even other people in the community on doing great things, man. We really have to uplift one another, in these times, and we have to be able to stay positive and live that type of lifestyle. And I'm just, it starts with learning, reading books and stories, and learning from one another, and having understanding
Mm.
and that's what allows us to keep on flourishing.
Yeah, and the date for the Houston because it's our neighbor.
Houston, we right. I feel like I'm on tour, road trip. So we straight from Dallas to Houston. So Houston on the 20th, we'll be having that book signing as well on June 20th again at Winston Chop House. Get your tickets now because I know it will sell out. So get your tickets. Hurry up, get your tickets for both because
Yes.
it's happening. And the word is hitting the streets. And I know people always like to wait to the last minute to get their tickets and to show up and show out. It's gonna happen. It's happening with
Yeah,
you or without you, but I'd rather have you
exactly.
with me.
Exactly, exactly. All right, y'all heard it here first on the Marcus Lee Stephenson show. Isaac Keys, author. Among all his other accolades, we are blessed and honored to have him. Y'all follow this brother. I mean, just great dude. Personally, I know him. Good guy.
Right.
So if you know me, you know I don't deal with foolishness. I don't deal with drama. I deal with clean, good brothers. So
Yes, sir.
yes, and shout out, man. Anybody you want to shout out to?
No, I gave shout outs throughout the interview, man.
Okay.
I'm like I said, the book it
Yeah,
tells it all from
I know.
everybody.
Yeah, I'm
From
saying, yeah,
point in
because
life.
yeah, I can't wait. One quick thing. Do you have a favorite chapter? You don't have to go into the chapter, but the title of it or something. Just
Um,
curious.
it's a few. Because it's a few. It's Curious George. It's one. This kind of talks about upgrowing the Black Panther.
Oh, I like
Part
that.
of that, and then honestly, I mean the, the prologue, the beginning is really
Yeah,
kind of like I wanted it to be the attention getter.
yeah,
So that's that's the I mean the whole thing is, man, it took me so long because honestly my publisher said this is the most pages I ever had to transcribe or work with. He said because you had so much to say and I wanted
yeah.
you to say it. We
That's
spent
good.
we make this a whole nother tape. We've
Yeah,
interviewed for it. I could never sit down and write this whole book because my brain moves faster than my pen could.
yeah.
So we did interviews and just started at one place in time and just carried it all the way over. And we
Mm.
had so much to cut out that I still wanted to say. So when I tell the story, I like to give you all the details and information. So, but just that process, man, it was grueling at times. It was mind, just taking over my mind at times. But that's why I probably so that's exactly why I'm so happy with the
Man.
accomplishment and the final
Okay. Well, I
and the
can't.
final
I
result.
I can't wait to read it, man. I'm pretty sure everybody else, cause you've been giving us snippets and peekaboos, and so yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah, the
know it's
conversation is
coming.
going to be real, man. The
Yeah.
conversation that people are going to be able to have is going to be different than any other interview. And both of these books and all my book signings, that's what kind of conversation I want to curate. It's not just about me talking. Also, I like the
Mhm.
engagement of the audience and people that are there too.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, we'll appreciate it, my man, and we love you. And we're signing out of the Marcus Lee Stevenson show. Y'all stay tuned for more, and don't forget to follow Isaac Keys on
that's right.
everything. All right. Be blessed, my brother. Love you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Peace.